And hi, Dr. Lynn Johnson here. Thank you for joining me today. I've got a song for you. I wrote this song. I didn't write the music, but I wrote most of the words. Here we go. I'm on the top of the hill and looking down on the city, and the only one I pity would be you. While you go by in your car, I'm on my bike and riding far. My legs took me to the top of the world. Well, top of the hill, hardly the top of the world. So what we have here is a stunt that I like to do. This is about around a 1,400-foot elevation gain. I did it in 1 hour and 5 minutes today, which is a personal best for me. Now, the point of that is that I'm taking good care of my brain and good care of my body. About 30 minutes to an hour of exercise every day really improves your health. It improves the brain health, all that oxygen flowing to your brain while you're huffing and puffing, and it reduces your inflammation, which is also good for your brain, and it's good all the way around. And for an old geezer like me, I think I've done pretty darn well. I got passed today by a young gal on a race bike. Looks like she's training for a triathlon or something. I'm doing about 3.5 to 4 miles an hour up the hill, and she came by and passed me, scared me to death, and I tried to keep up with her for about 100 yards, and she was doing well over 5.5 miles an hour on the same hill I can do 4 on. On the other hand, when I started out on this, I would do 2.5 to 3 miles an hour. Now I'm close to 4 miles an hour in the worst part. And so I want to recommend that you pick something hard and try it and do it. Let's see, there's my bike. Isn't that a little beauty? It's made out of carbon fiber, but frankly, for 30 years I rode a steel frame bike and it was just fine. You don't need much if you want to go bicycling. The carbon fiber bike is a bit self-indulgent, but frankly, I enjoy it and it motivates me. Well, thank you for joining me today. I want to recommend you do something like this. You may not have a 1,300-foot mountain that you're going to climb twice a week, things like that, but you can certainly pick something that you can do that makes you feel good. You can set personal best times and go after trying, like when I try to do my personal best each time, and today 1 hour and 5 minutes. In fact, that's really an extraordinary personal best because the highway department has torn up the most direct road, and I have to take this circuitous route that adds about a mile and a half to the time, and I still made it to the top of the hill in 1 hour and 5 minutes. Mighty good, mighty good. Pleased with myself. The world looks good. I feel strong. Good to have you watching this. Hope it inspires you. Hope it inspires you to go out and do something of your own. Hi, Dr. Lynn Johnson, and as you just saw, I'm back from my bike ride. Okay, I look a little sweaty and my hair is messed up, but I wanted to talk to you for a minute about the role of exercise in real thriving, which is a vital part of real thriving. You can think about exercise as having maybe 3 flavors. You've got aerobic exercise, and you see people jogging along and talking. You see interval exercise and strength exercise. Now, strength exercise, so we're lifting our weights, and that's very good for the bones. That it gives you strong, healthy bones, but interval training may be the best, the most time efficient, and that's where you run or bike or swim as hard as you can for maybe about 30 seconds, and then you rest. Well, Tabata, the Japanese physiologist that worked out some of the research on interval training, he does 30 seconds maximum effort, 10 seconds rest, and then 30 seconds maximum effort, and so forth. Most people are going to do a 30-second maximum effort and then, frankly, about a minute or a minute and a half of rest. All of that works. I've tried it all kinds of different ways, and it all works. And then strength exercise, interval training, aerobics. All those are good. So today I did mostly an aerobic, longer term LSD type of workout, meaning long, slow distance. I try to go as fast as I can. And so today you saw that I did a personal best on that hill, an hour and 5 minutes. Very nice, very satisfying experience. Okay, so all three of those are variations of exercise. Now let's talk about this. What does exercise do for you? Well, brain, old geezers like me have young looking brains if we exercise. In other words, when you do a brain scan of somebody that does a lot of exercise, that brain looks just young and feisty and happy. Heart and lungs, of course, you know, you build up your oxygen uptake, your lungs get better, your heart gets better, your blood gets more red blood vessels in it. When you're exercising, all that oxygen going to your brain is really good. Inflammation. Reduces your inflammation very nicely, 30, 45 minutes a day. 60 minutes of hard aerobic exercise is getting a little on the edge, but it's still going to reduce your inflammation pretty darn well. And reducing inflammation is really important. People with a high level inflammation, your prediction is that they're going to become depressed or anxious within the next year. It is a trigger for emotional disorders, and it's also a trigger for all kinds of physical disorders, so it's not a good thing. The last thing exercise does is a kind of a self-image. My hands are still a little shaky from that ride. There's a self-image piece to this. In other words, this is maybe the 5th time I've been up that hill. The first time I did it, I was amazed. I thought, wow. I mean, I climbed this hill, and I made that song up as I was climbing the hill. I'm on the top of the hill and looking down on the city. Well, along with that, there's a brain exercise piece to this, which is if you focus on what you're doing, it's exactly the same kind of thing as meditation. What meditation does is it develops an intentional system in the front part of your brain. And when your brain is just spinning mindlessly, you're not thinking about anything, you're in a kind of a posterior default system. And it's interesting, we didn't know that there was a default system until just, I don't know, the last 3 or 4 years, where they started saying they put people in PET scanners and didn't have them do anything, just daydream. And there's this very distinct system that kicks in when you're daydreaming. Well, daydreaming is fine. I mean, that's good. It's an important part, say, of creativity and so forth. But then you have to have an intentional forward part of your brain. And so when I'm bicycling, see, I'm pushing down. Well, but this foot pulls up, see? Push down here and I'm pulling up there. Push down here and I'm pulling up here. And so as your foot, well, that'll only work if you've got those clipless binding, you know, where you're kind of locked into your pedals. And it took me a while to get used to that, and I skinned a lot of elbows while I was getting used to it. But once I got used to it, it's really the only way to ride. So intention, see, I'm focused on, I'm keeping my focus on my body, see. And then I start daydreaming and I make up songs and rhymes and things. I got 2 or 3 verses of that Top of the World song. And I'm no Karen Carpenter, who is. I mean, one of the great voices and one of the great tragedies of all time. I mean, she had a phenomenal voice. I'm intentional, see. And that's really good for your brain. I've got that frontal part of my brain going on. The other thing that does is it raises your willpower. So self-image, I can do this, I can do hard things, I can do challenging things, I can do better. Heart and lungs improve, the brain improves, reduces your inflammation. There you go. Exercise is worthwhile. So, if you're watching this on YouTube, then go over to my website, drlynnjohnson.com, sign up for my newsletter. Give me a thumbs up if you liked my video. Give me a thumbs down, but if you do, then at least explain yourself. Why, so I can learn. Refer this to your friends. To do these, all that social media stuff that I haven't much of an idea about. Anyway, nice to have you aboard. Thank you for watching. And go get them. Get out there and do something fun, do something big. Do something that you feel proud of.